And welcome back, guys. Luke Wars V here, and today we are here playing MLB The Show franchise once again with the Boston Red Sox. Appreciate all the love on the past two episodes. We are here, and I am just going through the rosters, editing the minor leagues, and I figured, let's take a look at the trade block. I went ahead and took Yoshida off. Kept some of the other guys though. I'm still eager to be sellers, but with this 19 and 15 record, second place, Orioles and Blue Jays, even the Rays, they're kind of underperforming here. It's just the Yankees. I think we might have a shot. And my owner goal is to make the postseason, be over 500. So we might have to, but I think even with Hendricks and Jensen being on his last year, it's kind of a no-brainer too. But I was looking at the trade block itself, and I found something that we might want to keep an eye on. If you go a little bit further down here, you can see Pete Crow Armstrong, the Cubs' #1 prospect. They are looking to get rid of. Now, so far, he's only had 15 at-bats, 267 with a walk, home run, and RBI. Oh, it is tempting, and come the end of the deadline, we might have to try and make something happen. If you look at the standings here we go. The Cubs are 18 and 16. Again, definitely competitive in that division as well. But I think they're wanting some pitching for sure. So how is their roster looking? So starting pitchers, they got Steele, Hendricks, Assad, Talion. I mean, some pretty good guys. So I don't know why Steele. I mean, it's hard for Steele after coming up out of a middle of nowhere season. Wicks, Palencia. I mean, yeah, they're not great on starters, but they definitely got something. Their bullpen is something to be. Yeah, maybe they'd want Jensen. Jensen for Armstrong obviously wouldn't make sense. I'd want to keep it realistic if I were to make a move like that. It's definitely not going to be today, but I definitely want to be correct. Matt Mervis, first base. That's rough. Nico Horner, one of my favorite players as well. Was on my fantasy baseball team last year. It was a very good pickup. Yeah, he's playing well. Christopher Morrell, yeah. Outfield's looking stacked right now, but Armstrong can play, well, I don't know why they don't just move Bellinger to first base and then have Armstrong. They have Alcantara here as well. So, yeah, they're pretty stacked on the outfield. Canario. So, I understand why they might want to make that move, but he's really good. It's just speed and fielding right now. So, I don't even know if he would come up if I were to make a trade. But it's definitely something that I would look into just a little bit more. So, yeah, we're going to keep going with this year. I just wanted to touch base on that and give it a nice start. We can go through, I guess, the lineup changes I made as well. Just made sure Mayor Anthony was in the lineup for Double-A. I went ahead and lowered Anthony down a little bit on his stats. You can pause and take a look at that. Just kind of move some people around. Guys I really want to focus on getting some at-bats here. And then with AAA, made sure York and Teal were getting some good at-bats. I really liked Blaze Jordan, so I brought him up. Even though he's deep potential, he was hitting pretty well in Double-A. So I brought him up. Cutter Coffee, 19-year-old, 63 overall C potential. Actually might be a guy to keep an eye on. A lot of these C potential guys I really haven't been paying too much attention to. And yeah, so right now that just brings us with Pablo Reyes, who I brought up. We're currently over the 26, but he was performing really well in AAA. And, he performed well last year. There's no reason he shouldn't be here, as well as Ref Snyder. I kind of just moved him to Double-A just to make some rosters work to start the season. And, I mean, these guys will be able to do really well, especially with C.J. Cron's just not performing. Bobby Delick's doing just fine, but he might not, fit to that. And then Romy Gonzalez, I think I brought him up from Double-A as well. So we need to figure out how to readjust this. So I'm going to go and and try and do that. I'm not touching the starting 9. You know, Rafael is probably the one who I'd bring down potentially, but when he's hitting 257, I mean he's okay. Maybe he shouldn't be starting necessarily, especially if we're gonna go for the division, which again I was not expecting. Maybe bringing Ref Snyder against lefties, you know, Reyes against righties, and even Romy Gonzalez who can play, you know, but he's still again a lefty type of guy. So some interesting moves I'm gonna have to take a look at, but yeah, we'll get into it. So to help with that roster situation, we're gonna go ahead and trade Pablo Reyes for Ben Joyce. Gives us a little bit of a prospect in the bullpen, which is very much needed. I know our bullpen's a little bit scary when you're looking at the overalls, the potentials, the age of some of our guys. It's quite worrisome. So now we got Ben Joyce, looking to potentially be okay. We're gonna keep him in the minors for now. Let him go up. Has 98 miles an hour, 87 on the slider, 97 mile an hour slurve. That's interesting. Good arm, good breakage as well. So we're gonna let him develop a little bit longer in AAA. He's currently here in the MLB, but we are gonna move him down. And he's going to sit there for a little bit longer. I think our bullpen's doing very well. If we find, you know, the time where it's really not doing too great, and he's doing really well in AAA, of course we'll make the move. And then, of course, a little bit after I recorded the last clip, CJ Cron was released from the Boston Red Sox and is not going to make opening day roster. So with that being said, with him performing poorly, I am going to just go ahead and designate him for assignment as well. So now we're back down to 26. I also went ahead, just discovered this as well, but I went through, fired 2 of our scouts. We picked up Nelson Montano, 93 efficiency, 98 discovery. We're not going to touch the discovery very much. We're mostly going to make him be position player discovery throughout. I think that's a good start. And then we picked up Henry Walsh as well, who's just a stud through and through. So he'll be solid to have. Joins Fabregas in that. So with these new scouts, we're going to go through and we are going to try and find some players that we can find in our first round, second round, maybe third. I know with the position player scout, I want to try and find maybe a second baseman or a center fielder that we can pick up in the second round. But for the first round priorities, I do want to focus on pitching. So here we have Montano, who is our position player. So we're going to find a prospect. Let's see if we have a good second baseman. I know we looked at some of them in that 49 range. So Pablo Valentin could be potentially pretty good out of Mexico. Yeah, we'll give him a scout. Someone we could eye. Would be perfect if he falls at 50. So we'll have him. And then for Henry Walsh, we're going to have him on another pitcher that we can get with pick number 12, which is a decent pick. I think we can get some really good value here. I love Johnny Green. He's one of my favorite prospects that we've found so far. I'm just worried that since the draft rank has him all the way up at 4, and we only have him at 10, I don't think he's going to fall. We do have a guy named Oscar Estrella here who's also looking at. He could be exciting as well. He does have that low overall potential of 65, and of course him not being ranked. It could be closer to that 65, but he is ranked at 17 for us with a 99 potential. So I think we're going to give him a shot. Move him at priority number 1. Have Shason number 2. And then Valentine 3. And we'll move on with this. And then let's get in to this first full week of May. Hopefully we can keep up this good record again. We're in the second place, a game back. Let's keep it interesting. I don't know how we're doing this well, but I kind of like it. And we're getting instantly into a situation here. I am not going to embarrass myself with hitting. Maybe I should, though. Yoshida's going to be up on deck. Oh, I'm just going to simulate it. We're going to hope we pull through. Damn, didn't pull through. Okay, so let's not have this rough start. Tear our week down. We have a 2-game series against Atlanta. It's currently 23-11. We do have Brian Bello. Let's see what happens. See, this is his true test. Let's auto fix the rotation. And he politely gets destroyed. Let's see what he was able to pull off here. 5 innings, 6 runs, 4 strikeouts. Only 6 earned. Johnny Cueto came in and did okay. to finish off that inning. And then our bullpen did well. Lucas Luke did not do too good. But Tristan Casas hit a home run. I had 4 RBIs that game. 4 for 5. That's what you like to see, up to 283. Yoshida, a little bit poor there, but not too bad. Not too bad. It's Atlanta. We take 1 from them. Hendricks gets the win. Tristan Casas, another home hit and RBI. See who did the big damage here. Vaughn Grissom. Found out we're scouting second baseman, and he is not having it. It was Casas did hit back-to-back home runs against Atlanta. A little bit of a throw everyone out there and see what sticks. And Liam Hendricks was able to close it out with 2 strikeouts. That's great. Let's start this series against Washington. And so far, 2 wins here. 7-0 win. Love to see the offense. Let's see who did it. We have 2 from Tyler O'Neill, 2 from Rafaela, 2 from McGuire, and then 1 from Yoshida. Casas 1 for 4, not too hot, but can't complain. Yoshida did hit a home run, so did O'Neill and McGuire. Nick Pivetta, complete game. Well, I was honestly a little worried about Pivetta. Didn't think he was doing too hot. You can't argue with a complete game, 8 strikeouts. It's pretty easy to do that when you score 7 runs. And then the 2-1 win. Looks like Yoshida and Story. Trevor Story with the home run. That's pretty good. Let's do some scouting this week. Let's see what we found out. So with 90%, Chasin is an 87 to 93. You cannot argue with that. And we're getting a little bit more comfort here. Estella could be up to a 74. We're going to keep him in 1 more. Paulo Valentin is definitely a guy to look at with the second pick. 64 overall is a little on the lower end. Maybe we stick with him at... we'll see. I don't mind it. Let's start with changing the prospect. Definitely want to look at more starting pitchers in that first round range. 22, but we have him at 19. That's 66, a little iffy. Kyle Beck. He's number 2, but he's on the draft rank of 28 for us. We have him at 50% scouted so far. We have him at 31. Yeah, it's not many early pitchers we can look at here. So we're definitely going to reach. We'll look at Steven Vargas here. Or do I like Feliz better? So we're going to take a look at Vargas, I think, is who we'll keep an eye on here. And then second baseman. Let's see if we got another second baseman to potentially look at in the second round range. Travis Blake was someone we looked at. He is eyeing in that 50 range as well. Potential in the 74 to 80. We have him at 50%. I'll keep him that way for now. Is there anyone else? 75 to 99 here. Here in the later rounds. 20 years old. Lee Bay. We're going to give him a look. I know it's a little bit later than I wanted, but I do want to get a couple second basemen looked at and kind of expected there where we can finalize. Let's do it. I think this might be the way to go. I did watch a little bit of videos like I said I was, and this might be the way they do it, which is why I replaced the scouts. Found out that was a thing. Let's keep pushing through here. See if we can sweep Washington. That would be pretty awesome. Tanner Hook is not the reliable guy to do it, though. And we do. But, I mean, Washington, let's be real. Washington is 9-30. So, there's really not too much. Johnny Cueto gets the win. And, let's see, who's Duran, Yoshida, Devers, Grissom, RBI. Duran, Yoshida, and Devers with home runs, let's be clear. And then Yoshida with a stolen base. Johnny Cueto came in for 2 more innings. You know, I might have to he's just doing way too well. We have a 4-game series against the 23 and 18. It looks like Tampa has caught up with us. Yankees have kind of fallen off. So this is the battle for first place right now in the middle of May, which, you know, nothing too exciting. But we got another Brian Bello game against Tampa, up against Zach Eflin, who's also performing pretty well so far this year. I'd love to see Bello push through. I'd love to see it. And he does. Lowers his ERA to 3.03. I would love to see how that played out. 7 innings, 3 strikeouts. He doesn't. I'm telling you, I don't understand the lack of strikeouts, but he can sit them down nonetheless. Hendricks and Jensen pull it off. Give up a run, but it is unearned due to a Tyler O'Neill error, it looks like. And then Devers. Romy Gonzalez was playing today. Did us some help. And then at least Tyler O'Neill got us a run. So the run he gave up, he was able to help with. That's huge. We get a game and a half head start now. This is crazy to me that we're performing so well. But let's go ahead. Garrett Whitlock, 322, up against Aaron Savali. Lucas Giolito versus Jeffrey Springs. And then Nick Pivetta against Zach Little. I think this Jeffrey Springs. I hope we have a hot moment come up. I'd love to play through it. Here we go. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Yoshida's up. This is the moments that we were meant for here. Look at the team rankings. 198 runs for 11th. 57 home runs, 10th. 35 is 11th. See, everything here is nothing stands out. It is Yoshida time. We have another fastball. I think this is our first game at Fenway that I've played in a situation. Yeah, because we played at Seattle and PNC. So, woo, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I still haven't practiced base running. That will be my next thing. I know bumpers, not triggers. Bumpers, not triggers. Pete Fairbanks, unfamiliar. But we're going to make it happen. Get a base hit. There it is. Home. Second. Uh-oh. Okay. He scored the run. Base running. Messed that up. Vaughn Grissom. Walk off. Beautiful. So we come through now winners of 6 in a row. I promise by the end of the season I will have base running down. It's just gonna take me a minute. And then Nick Pivetta, who's been pitching very well for us, up against Zach Littell. And there it is. Game number 7 in a row. This is, you cannot get much hotter than this. Rafaela, Yoshida, and Devers with home runs. Tristan Casas with an error. Pivetta pitched 5 innings. Cueto with 2 more. No runs. Wow. Yoshida 2 RBIs. Devers with 1. Looks like Casas did okay as well. Let's finish this week out. Get the next scouting going. Another moment here. Lucas Luguette is up. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Not my moment. This is not my moment. And there it is. There's the end of our win streak. But it is, we did bounce back real quick with another Brian Bello win. 7-2, 263 RA. Pretty sure that was, no, he wasn't that one. He did the 7-4 win. No, the 4-1 win. So another 7-0 victory. Vaughn Grissom is going off. I cannot wait to look at his stats coming into this. But Bello, a complete game, 7 strikeout, 2 hitter against St. Louis, who is 19-27. I have a feeling we are going to be buyers. We are 3.5 games ahead. I haven't even done anything. So before we get into scouting, let's see in this stretch of time how our lineup is looking. So Jalen Duran is hitting 270, 307 on base percentage. I can take that for now at leadoff. 700 OPS is not ideal, but it's pretty good. Yoshida's hitting 285, not ideal at the slightest. 832 OPS is just fine. 9-28 in the 2-hole. It's pretty good as well. He's getting on 348. Cannot complain. Devers is up to 320. His overall's going up. He is mashing the ball more and more and more. 395 on base. Would like it to be a little bit higher, but 982 isn't too bad at all. I would like the on base to be higher by 18 more, so he could be batting in the ones, but that's fine. I think this is a great season so far. He's definitely the heart and soul of the team. Tristan Casas back down to 280, but he is up to an 80 overall. His contact against lefties is getting better. His power against lefties is getting better. His power in general is just getting better. And his vision, not his vision, but his discipline and his other durability things are going up. And on-base percentage of 375, 845 OPS will work just fine. I want a little bit more, just a tad bit more efficiency at the plate, and I would be more than happy. But he's 24 years old. He's getting better. I think it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good here. Trevor Story's up to 253. I feel like that's higher than last time we took a look at him. 7 and 18 is serviceable. 785, okay enough. Tyler O'Neill's down to 222 with 7 homers, 27 RBIs. 294 on base. 730 is not great. Vaughn Grisham's up to 343. He is going lower overall somehow. On base percentage of 400. And he's still getting the at-bat. So he is playing legit baseball right now. And that might be worth moving him up in the lineup. I don't want him because Duran's doing just fine. Let's see. Is he stealing bases? 9 bases. Is Vaughn Grissom stealing 4? Yeah, so we'll keep him. We'll throw him in the 5 hole back up there. Trevor Story's going to hit 6. Tyler O'Neill down to 7. Rafala. Rafaela is doing okay enough. Another serviceable outfielder would be appreciated. Reese McGuire, he's just a stand-in. 4 and 14 is more than fine with me. Bobby Dalbeck's still going to go off the bench. Romy Gonzalez in 20 at-bats is doing well. So is Ref Snyder. I think these changes overall for our bench is just going to be incredible. Play every position's covered. And yeah, we're doing really well. Let's get back into scouting. We have 100% on Estrella, who's a 77 to a 92. He's up to 6 on our draft rank. And he could be high overall as well. So he may be our guy at 12, which would be interesting. I've not done this, but I don't know if drafting a non-ranked guy is common or not. But 55 for Vargas, 69 to 93. I would like to find out a little bit more about him. But let's start with a new starting pitcher prospect. In that first round, I just want one more, and then we can move on to 49, 88, 118, 148, stuff like that. I'd like to get another pitcher in round 3 and 4, to be honest. So let's... Jim Grady's at 30%. He's just at 8, which is not too bad. Eric Hansen. Draft rank 12. He is a relief pitcher, though. He's a relief pitcher. Earl Dietz, 79 to 96. 21 years old. Could be a pretty high overall as well. Let's have him as our last guy we scout. Again, a little bit lower than I'd want, but that's just fine. We're going to have... I'm okay with 77%. 79 to 94 at second base. I would actually like to do one more of Lee Bay. I feel like I'm wasting this, but he is very viable for 118. He could easily fall to 1. I don't even know if I'd want to test that because... yeah, he's definitely a contact guy. Yeah, he's just a fielder. I mean, you're looking at his future stuff. 156, so it could be around that round 5. Brian Jimenez, potential hitter, another decent fielder. Nothing too exciting from what we already have. We have Frank Bonilla. Nothing too exciting. On the other hand, we have Peralta here. And we even have Virgil Drew, Canadian. We have Peralta as a speed demon. So let's have Peralta as the guy we're drafting here. We're going to put him at number 2 and have Vargas at 3. I also wanted to go through our personal top 20 prospects by organization. I don't think I've taken a look at this yet in the series, and I really want to focus on, maybe some of these guys that aren't Kyler Teal, Mayer, and Anthony. Roman Anthony is still a little bit of a higher prospect compared to Mayer, but he is going up to a 64. His potential is going up as well. That might actually be from the changes I've made. But one guy we haven't talked about at all is Mikey Romero, who is hitting 353 in AA right now in 4 games. I guess he's probably one of the guys I moved up, realizing he needs to play a little bit. Nick York, of course, we have a pretty good idea that he's going to be the guy that plays, but he's playing 40 games in AAA so far and has a 787, which is okay, not ideal, but it's just because he's slugging. He's not hitting the ball very hard, but hopefully that continues to go up. Wickelman Gonzalez, our number 1 pitcher in our organization. He is now pitching in AAA, 9 games, 5 ERA. I might move him down just because his whip's fine. And he has a positive WAR, so maybe we'll just keep him through. Wiley Abreu, who's currently injured at the moment, but he's currently has a .292 batting average in 13 games. So in AA, could potentially move him up as well, but not too exciting. Cutter Coffee is one of my favorite prospects. Again, I showed him off in the previous lineup that we looked at. We have Matthew Lugo, guy I haven't paid attention to much either. 238, nothing promising there. Brian Maeda is another guy we have here, and he's doing really well, it looks like, in AAA, and might be a guy we need to bring up if necessary. Well, it's 146. He's doing okay. Blaze Jordan we also took a look at. He is killing AAA so far. D potential is a little scary, but I'm not sure exactly how that plays out. And then Liu doing in 3 games really well so far in AAA. And just some other guys, but you can see we really are lacking pitching, and I don't know how our pitching's simulating so well. I'm not complaining from it, but it really needs help, and so does some outfield as well, which is why I'm aiming towards the things I'm aiming for. But again, we still lead the division. We're up 4.5 games. The Rays kind of fell out of it after getting swept by us, which is a beautiful thing. So we're going to continue to hopefully sweep them. We do have a Shane McCallahan game, who's not been doing too well this year. I expect to win maybe just one of these games, but let's see. We're going to fix lineups. I think we had an injury. Wow. 18-2 victory. Wow. Let's take a look at this. Yoshida, Costas with 2 home runs. Grissom with a home run. Rafaela with a home run. Rafaela with 6 RBIs. Costas with 3 RBIs with 2 homers. That's incredible. Johnny Cueto got a 3-inning save. He is unstoppable. I don't know how we're doing it, but I'm loving it. Even when Devers doesn't follow through. 0 for 5 with 1 walk. And that's what we get. Costas was 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. That's crazy. We did lose the McCallahan game. Tanner Hook continues to underperform, but looks like Giolito had a good game, and he did. Jansen came through, is saving games left and right. I wanted to trade him. I was excited to build up a trade and see what happens, but I don't think I'm going to. I just don't think it's going to be a thing. And then we got 2 games to Milwaukee until we look at... No! Come on! I am just absolutely shocked. Wow. Guy was putting up Cy Young numbers. I'm sure he was. He was 26 in WAR. Led the league in WHIP. He was 9th in league in ERA. Glad I traded for Ben Joyce because he is now up in our major league roster. I moved Johnny Cueto over to starting pitcher again. At least we have Whitlock, who's been still doing really well. Even Giolito, his whip's doing okay. Vetta's whip's pretty good. I mean, everyone is still doing just fine. And then Ben Joyce is going to run middle relief. It doesn't look good, but, I mean, Bernardio's doing great. Lugette's doing fine. Liam Hendricks is, I mean, for how high it was at one point, that's fine. Martin's just not pitching often. It's probably for the best. And then Kenley Jensen still doing great. We do have a good Earl Dietz. If he's able to come up to us, that'd be pretty good at 12. Peralta's looking like a very solid player, especially at 49. Be a speed demon, potentially. And then Vargas would be hopefully at our 40 range, but he is looking solid as well, potentially. But maybe not the guy. Let's do this again. View prospect list. I think I'm pretty good with pitchers here. I can't get any of these guys. Maybe Jim Grady would be the only one, but I still think he's pretty high. Conrad Root. It's draft rank 11. He's going to be the last one. And then we're going to focus on pitchers in the third round. So somewhere around 88. Let's just do all here. Let's find him in the 80s. He's around 50. Here's a guy, somewhere 90. Raphael Do. Just do it. He's going to be a guy to keep an eye on. We're going to have Montano look at another outfielder somewhere in that 40 range, potentially. Damon Suter out of Georgia. Power guy. This is the type of guy I would love to pick. 23 years old already, though, but could potentially just be 1 year. We also have a Cy Jones. That's pretty sick. But I'm going to take a look at Damon Suter. We have Raider here, 22 years old, 76 to 90. Could be a guy to look at around 178. So let's finalize that. So we finished the final week going 3-3. We're still 35-23, 12 games above 500. Johnny Cueto lost his first start, it looks like, and not only did he lose it, we got destroyed. Beat Milwaukee in the series, though, lost to Baltimore, and we're splitting the series so far. 2 more games with Detroit. Ooh, and we win. Perfect. Now let's take a look here. 267, Duran's falling down. 287 for Yoshida, 296 for Devers, 249. 10 homers. I wish he had more RBIs there. It's putting up some Adam Dunn. Well, not quite Adam Dunn bad. But 828 is just fine on OPS. 912's fallen pretty significantly. 844. Von Grisham's still hitting really well. He's now increasing his overall, looking a lot more promising here, showing he can be that guy. 853 OPS is incredible. My dog just unplugged my controller. He is now under my desk. Awesome. Trevor Story, 262. Honestly, more than acceptable. Again, I just want 20 home runs from him. I think that'd be incredible from him. Tyler O'Neill, 233. He's going up, though. On base is kind of bad. 753 is fine. 243, also fine. Reese McGuire. Dalbec. Romy Gonzalez. Ref Snyder. He's making good use of his time at bat. I love it. I love it. And then pitching. Johnny Cueto still doing okay. Whitlock, 301, 131. Giolito's down to 128 on his whip. He's stabilizing a bit more. Pavetta's doing really well. 137 with 384. And then Tanner Hook is once again, he's fine. It's all fine. All fine and dandy. We can kind of go through here. Bernardio's doing fine. How's Ben Joyce? 3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 133 whip. Can't complain too much. Let's finish this last scouting before we get out of here. Suter is looking to be probably a solid pick, but not my number 1 choice. Same with the Raider here. That's kind of disappointing overall for both of them. Power still potentially to be high, but just not enough. So, yeah, I would probably look for more in like the 4th round for him. Root. Yeah, he could potentially be the guy. I would like to do one more with him. Let's get another outfielder prospect, potentially. See if there's anyone fine we can find that looks good. No, nothing here. Mike Stacy. Once again. Another just great fielder. Manuel Peralta is looking like a very good player to pick up. He's just a fielder. 60 to 94. John Allen, projected 11. Not going to happen. And then nothing else. We have a 99 up at the top, but it's probably unlikely it is that. Let's take a look at Arlo Williams out of Wisconsin, another power bat with potential great fielding as well. And then let's do another maybe third baseman. We haven't taken a look at them at all. But anywhere in the 80s, that might be pretty good. Bertman Rodriguez out of Michigan. Great, contact hitter. Great vision. Looking at the 70s there, that might be the guy. Also, Dalton Wesley out of Georgia. Power hitter. We're going to keep an eye on Rodriguez here. Mark Davis has greens across the board at his best. But with that, that is going to be all. We are still first in the division. 3 games ahead of Baltimore. They're starting to pick up steam. But hey, as it goes, we have some exciting things going on. Bellows, out. But we're still able to win some games. Even if we're able to keep it, 60%, 55% of the wins. I think we'd be okay if we can hold like a 6-4 every 10 games until he gets back to hold down the ground. I think we have some great hitters going on here. Brian Hayes leading the National League in batting average. Wow. And then Pete Crow Armstrong might potentially be a option. Let's see if he is still on the trade block. That's Trade Talks. Where do you view that at? And he is still there. Improving. Still not a great hitter. Yeah, still not a great hitter at all. But could be someone we keep an eye on. That's for sure. Jonathan India's on the trade block. That's no shocker. But yeah, we're definitely looking to be buyers. And I definitely want to get better. I mean, if that's going to be us, I want to make sure that we're able to do that. So, thank you guys for watching. Awful news we had. But, you got to deal with the punches thrown at us. Thanks for watching. Later, guys.